All right, I'm here with Jonah O'Brien, quarterback for Eastern Illinois University for the Panthers. And Jonah, do you want to talk to me a little bit about your high school career and how you got here? And then I know you went to Colorado State for like a season or whatever and came back here. But yeah, I want to talk to you about your high school days first.
Yeah, so I went to Kaukauna High School in Wisconsin. It's kind of by Appleton. So freshman year, played freshman football. Sophomore year, started on JV, played, um, started one game against Kimberly, who was like the number one team in Wisconsin. Got blown out by them. Played a little bit as a sophomore, a little bit. And then my junior year, I broke my elbow in the first game. So missed that whole season, and then did all my rehab stuff. Had two surgeries on that, and then I had two heart procedures as well that year. Then my senior year, I decided to go to a school in Illinois, Bartlett,
Hmm.
and that's kind of where I had my best year. I was all state, all conference, and like all area, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of a roller coaster ride, but it's pretty awesome.
What were the heart things on?
I had Wolf Parkinson White.
Okay.
So it was like I have like an irregular heartbeat or something, and I was
Sure.
like deemed at risk for sudden death, like during
Okay.
exercises. So yeah, but I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have like the elbow surgeries.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that I don't know, maybe breaking my elbow saved my life. So I kind of think about it that way. So
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it too. What made you decide on Eastern Illinois? Then did you have any interest from any other schools, or just take me through that process?
yeah, so all my options out of high school were mostly, I mean, I was mostly getting looked at by D3 schools, a
Hmm.
couple D2s, and then like the Division 1 schools were all preferred walk-ons. So
Okay.
um, I was talking to Oklahoma State. That was my biggest preferred walk-on,
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, and then Eastern. And then yeah, I decided between there. I just thought it was close to home. It was up and coming program, and they had less quarterbacks on the roster than Oklahoma State. So I just thought it'd be a better opportunity to play right away. So that's why I chose them.
What led to the decision to transfer and then ultimately to transfer back?
Yeah. So the first time I transferred out of Eastern,
And how does that work too? Because I know sometimes you gotta like sit out a year or not. You
so
gonna
I
take me
was
through
so
all the technical
yeah.
stuff?
So if you're on scholarship, I think like you get like nowadays you get one free transfer without punishment, like you can play. But I
Hmm.
was never on scholarship for those two schools, so I would kind of like it didn't matter. So like I could transfer whenever and still play and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I played in one game at Eastern, so I still kept my redshirt year, and then I got a concussion in that game. And then the coaching staff they said we're gonna give you a scholarship, like you've earned it, stuff like that. And I go back in January, and I was like, well, when am I getting my scholarship? And they said, oh, like that's like you haven't like earned that yet,
Mm.
and you gotta wait until maybe next fall. And I was like, well, I don't have a problem like earning it. But if you tell me some like,
Yeah,
oh, you're getting a
exactly.
scholarship, like that's why I was a little pissed off about that. That was kind of the biggest reason. And I also wanted to play at a bigger school.
Mm.
So that was the biggest reason. But yeah. Yeah. And then I went to Colorado State for 2 years. That was awesome. I love that place. And then at that point, again, I was a preferred walk on there.
Yeah.
And then, after the last game, we go in for our end of season meetings, and they
Uh-huh.
say we're going to give you a scholarship. 2 days later, that coaching staff gets fired. So I was like shit. So I
That
ended
is a
up just
lot of
leaving.
tough luck.
And yeah, I know it sucks, but and then went back to Eastern and with a scholarship this time and a good opportunity to play. And yeah, it's the way it happened. So
Yeah, a lot of tough luck, but yeah, it seems like you're doing it
yeah,
pretty good now. How was the one game you played in at Eastern, obviously before the concussion or whatever?
it was good. I mean,
I got the
my
stats and I
first
know.
my first drive, I think it was like 20 plays. I played in 17. And then it was a targeting penalty. I was running and some guy smacked me in the head. Um, I had to get like go in the medical tent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went back in the game because it's my first start or my first game. Like I'm not coming out. Like
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but I went back in and then I was gonna start the next week, but then they ruled me out. They said I couldn't play because pretty bad one. But yeah, I thought it did solid. I mean, threw a pick at the end of the game, but
Hmm.
that's what it goes. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's
solid
still
for
nice.
for a game, I think.
What it takes to be a Division I quarterback, and like some of your favorite drills and in the weight room, and just things to work on for anyone that wants to be a D1 quarterback or a quarterback in college in general.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is you gotta love it. You gotta actually love it. I mean, you're the center of attention. Like all your teammates are looking at you, even though
Mm.
you may think they're not. They're subconsciously they're always looking at you, and you have to have good body language all the time. You got to have good words to say. You can't be the one bad mouthing people. You got to be always upbeat and positive. Um, you just got to be a great leader and a great person. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. Pretty misunderstood. Everyone always thinks that quarterback's about having like a big arm or stuff like that, but I think it's more so like off the field what you do and kind of like how your teammates respect you and treat you. So I think that's the biggest thing. Drills, I think pocket movement stuff. I think that's not talked about enough. I think that having good pocket presence and how to manipulate in the pocket is a great trait to have, and I think all the great quarterbacks have that trait. So just anything that involves like avoiding rush or stuff like that, I think is a great drill. Weight room, um, I would say probably avoid bench press. You don't really need it. Do dumbbell bench press, squat. Throwing's about legs and
Hmm.
core exercises, squats. Yeah, that's yeah.
And I was told um, by a quarterback, or he's starting for the Jets now, obviously, Tim Boyle, that it doesn't matter, uh, especially in the NFL, college, whenever, it doesn't really matter how far you can throw the ball because quarterbacks only throw like 40 plus yards, like maybe one time in the game, or very
Hmm.
few. Just that your arm and how accurate you are, and just the velocity, that's like way more important than just throwing it 75 yards. What's your
A
stance on that?
100%. I mean, we have he's a special teams like GA here, and he played tight end in college, and this guy can throw it like literally like 85, 90 yards in the air.
Wow.
And but that doesn't mean like he's accurate and stuff like that. Like that doesn't mean he can make the right throws at the perfect timing, stuff like that. So I think it's timing, anticipation, and accuracy, I think are just the biggest things for sure. Because I mean the most you're gonna throw in a game is like, I don't know, like 50 yards maybe. Like
Yeah.
not you're not throwing 50 plus like a lot.
Wow.
Probably not a whole lot ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you want to take me through a typical college game week with practice and like what times for all that, and just how crazy the schedule can be?
Yeah, um so we'll start on Monday. So Monday's our off
Yeah.
day. Don't really do much. I mean, you quarterbacks, I mean, we watch like we'll go through a couple of the games, kind of just get like a head jump start on the week. Do that, watch the games by yourself, and then Tuesday we'll come in. You have a lift in the morning. Normally it's either 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. Come in, get your lift in. I mean, you go to class from throughout your day, and then 3:30. I mean, we got meetings, and then we're in there until like 8:30. We got meetings, practice, more meetings, just stuff like that. That's a Tuesday. Wednesday looks about the same except for there's no lift, like mandatory lift. But I mean, a lot of people going for optional mobility or another lift. And then again from like 3:30 to probably 8:30. Thursday, again mobility. Just kind of stretching, getting your body right for the week. Again, it's like 3:30. I think about 6:30 this time. It's a little shorter. Thursdays are definitely shorter, and then Fridays are meetings and walkthrough, and then Saturday is the best day, and then
Mhm.
Sundays we will have like a if you play in the game, you'll have a check in with the athletic training staff. So you go in, get checked. If you're good, you're good. If not, you got to get treatment and stuff like that. And then we'll recap the game and then watch the film and then lift. But
And what are your plans for college football and then life in general moving forward here? I know was it this year that you were a redshirt junior?
I think I don't even know what I am anymore. It's all messed up. So like that was
Okay.
this past year was my fifth year. So I have one more year left. I think I'm gonna play. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna come back or stay. I'm not really sure yet. But definitely would want to keep playing football as long as I can. And yeah, I mean, I would career path. I mean, I could see myself getting into coaching for sure.
Okay.
Coaching or just something in football, I think. I think that's really all I know. So why not?
Gotcha. Are
Yeah.
you interested in the coaching aspect? I know a lot of players kind of gravitate towards that.
Yeah, it definitely intrigues me. I think I'd be a solid coach. Like I'm not I feel like I wouldn't be a kind of coach that's kind of just like yelling to yell. I think I'm
Mhm.
more cool collected than that. Um I don't know. I like the game of like I don't know. I like the game of chess. That's football is the ultimate game of chess. So
Yeah.
I like all the game planning and stuff like that and telling people how to see things, stuff like so. I like that part.
And what do you think? What's your predictions for the Panthers next year?
I think they're going to be really good. They got a great head coach, Chris Wilkerson. I mean, that
Hmm.
guy is unbelievable. He's awesome. He's bringing Eastern football back to Jimmy Garoppolo days, and it's
Yeah.
the way it should be. And I mean, you can just see it in year one from year two. I mean, we're 2-9 his first year, and then we're 8-3 the next year. And I think we're the first team out of the playoffs. So it's a big turnaround from year one to year two. So I'm super excited for them.